As-Salamu Alaikum wa Rahmatulahi Wabarkatahu. Greetings, brothers and sisters. I am Captain Muslim, and I hope you all are in good health and welcome to my YouTube channel. So, in today's video, I will be exposing debunking izla. Debunking Isla had told few lies. Here is one of them.
So in the Quran, Allah tells us He made everything in pairs. There is no doubt that this includes male and female counterparts in the human, animal, and plant kingdoms. This claim is catastrophic for Islam because there are many examples of female-only species of animals, insects, and plants. Therefore, the claim Allah made everything with a sexual partner is false. Allah did not realize that there are some single-sex species that exist that don't have partners. A God that didn't know this cannot be God.
Well, it looks like you haven't done your research properly. There were some species who didn't have partners, but for a reason. The ability to reproduce asexually allows animals to pass on their genes without spending energy finding a mate, and so can help sustain a species in challenging conditions. If a Komodo dragon arrives on the uninhabited island, for example, she alone could create a population through parthenogenesis. And I think there is another reason, which is some animals are able to survive without partners because they are cared by their two parents. So yeah, this is the only reason why some animals don't have mates or partners. And Allah gave partners to animals so they can survive in hard situations. If animals don't want partners, then what Allah can do? Allah has created everything in pairs. If animals don't want a partner, then that's the problem of animals, bro. You haven't done your research properly.
The verses translate to an inheritance that works out as half the share for a son, 1/3 for the daughter, 1/6 for each parent, and 1/8 for the wife. Now, if there is a situation where a man dies and he had two daughters, a wife, and two living parents, then this works out as follows. The daughters inherit 1/3 each, the parents get 1/6 each, which equals 1/3 combined, and the wife gets 1/8. You can see the calculation on the screen there. And as you can see, if you add these up, it comes to 1 and 1/8, or 9/8. When converted into decimals, we get the value 1.125. So in simple terms, what this means is if a man left behind £100, for Allah's calculation to work, there needs to be £112.50.
Bro, on that verse, Allah is talking about property, not money. Allah is talking about the share of property, not money. You don't believe me? Don't worry, I'll show you. But before that, I want to show you something else. It looks like you haven't read the verse properly. Allah commands you regarding your children, the share of the male will be twice that of the female. If you leave only two or more females, then their share is 2/3 of the estate. But if there is only one female, her share will be 1/2. Each person is entitled to 1/6 of your live offsprings. But if you are childless and your parents are the only heirs, then your mother will receive one third. But if you leave siblings, then your mother will receive the 1/6 after the fulfillment of biggest and debts. Be fair to your parents and children as they do not fully know who is more beneficial to you. This is an obligation from Allah. Surely Allah is all knowing and all wise. Here is another verse. You will inherit half of what your wife leaves if they are childless, but if they have children, then your share is 1/4 of the estate after the fulfillment of biggest and debts, and your wives will inherit 1/4 of what we leave. If you are childless, but you have children, then your wife will receive 1/8 of your estate. But if the fulfillment of biggest and debt, and if a man or a woman leaves neither parents nor children, but only a brother or a sister from the mother's side, they will each inherit 1/6. But if they are more than one, they all will share 1/3 of the estate after the fulfillment of the bequest and debts without harm to the heirs. This is commitment from Allah. Now, let's read the tafsir. Okay, here we are at the tafsir. Let's see what it says. See, it says clearly, primarily writes on the property of the deceased. It never did talk about the money, bro. It didn't. It is clearly talking about the property. You can clearly see, bro. It never did talk about the money. So that's the rest. According to the principle of Islamic law, actually, brothers and sisters, I'm gonna copy paste the whole tafsir and paste in the comment section. Otherwise, you guys will get bored, and plus the video will be long. Let's move to the next tafsir. So in this tafsir, Allah is talking about the shares of wife and husbands. I'll also copy and paste this whole tafsir and send in the comment section. Debunking izla. You are saying 1/2 for the son, 1/3 for the daughter, and 1/6 for parents, 1/8 for wife. But this is not actually the truth. The verses I've showed you, it is clearly written on that verse 1/6 for parents if you have any of your offsprings behind, if they have little children, and 1/8 for wife if they have child. And if we are childless, then 1/3 for the parents and 1/4 for the wife. And in that verses, Allah is basically talking about property, not about money. So stop lying.
So, Allah said all things are created from water, and this includes angels and the jinn. Well, this is a really big problem because the angels are created from light. Well, light does not contain water, does it? And the jinn are made from fire, and fire is not water, and it does not contain water, right? Well, it does contain some water created from chemical reactions within the fire and vapor from what it's burning. The water in fire is in the smoke, which carries the evaporated water as basically steam. But surely Allah is not referring to the steam and smoke from a fire when he says he creates all things from water, right? Because that would be silly.
Okay, again, you haven't done your research properly. Light is made of photons, and photons are made of waves of electromagnetic radiations. and waves of electromagnetic radiations are made of electric fields, and electric fields are made of electrons and protons, and water contains 10 protons and 10 electrons. I mean, water molecule have 10 electrons and 10 protons, and electrons and protons are the part of hydrogen two atoms, meaning like electrons and protons are part of water. So yeah, technically light is made of water. And for smokeless fire, either if it's fire or smokeless fire, it does have water on it. You don't believe me? Don't worry, I'll show you. So I'm gonna type in front of you, does smokeless fire have water or not? So here we are. The obvious example of a smokeless flame is hydrogen. Pure hydrogen burns in oxygen to generate water. Hey bro, I suggest you do your research properly, because I've noticed you haven't done your research properly. So now read the Quran and do your research properly, then make a video on it. Because like you haven't done your research properly. So go now and read the whole Quran and see what is related with science and do your research properly. Then make video on it. Your theory about the Kaaba is wrong. Prophet Ibrahim alayhi didn't build the Kaaba, he rebuilt the Kaaba. Before Prophet Ibrahim alayhi Kaaba did existed, and then it was lifted up in the sky. And then in the time of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi Allah ordered Prophet Ibrahim alayhi and his son to rebuild the Kaaba. The location was decided. That was the exact location where Prophet Adam alayhi salam prayed. That was the exact location. You don't even know the history of Kaaba, and you're making videos. So first, do your research properly. Read Quran, then make videos. Otherwise, don't make videos. Your theory has no logic.